Perfection. It's something we all chase, right? But what if the pursuit of it is the very thing holding you back? It sure was for me. Then, I stumbled across Barakamon, an anime that changed my outlook completely. Today, I want to share how this story reshaped my approach to both perfection and life itself. A few years ago, I was consumed by the need to maximize, optimize, and perfect every aspect of my life. Despite receiving praise, I never felt truly satisfied with my achievements, as though my efforts were in vain. On the rare occasion I experienced a win, I either attributed it to chance or told myself I was merely meeting the bare minimum. This black and white thinking led me to believe that if something wasn't perfect, it was a failure, a waste of both time and resources. That's when procrastination crept in. Strangely, this limbo of avoiding work felt like a safe haven. After all, if I didn't try, I couldn't fail, right? The more I aimed for perfection, the more it slipped away, leaving me feeling paralyzed. Then, I stumbled across Barakamon. I didn't expect much when I started watching the first episode. It was just a distraction. But what happened next was unexpected. I was immensely drawn into Handa's world. A young calligrapher, celebrated as a prodigy. He seemed to embody everything I was striving for, and yet, even he wasn't satisfied. After a brutal critique at an exhibition, his confidence shatters, and in a moment of blind rage, he punches the elderly critic who had torn his work apart. I was stunned, but strangely relieved. It felt as if Handa had acted out the frustration I had been silently directing inwards for years. Anger at myself, my constant self-criticism, and the suffocating pressure of endless perceived failures. Banished to a rural island, Handa is once again in search of perfection. He believes that if he can just figure out what he's missing, he can regain what he thinks he's lost. But here's where it gets interesting. The locals he meets, especially the children, don't care about his so-called perfect or award-winning calligraphy. Instead, they teach him something profound, that beauty lies in the imperfect. It's in the mistakes, the smudges, and the repeated attempts. In their untainted eyes, beauty wasn't in flawless execution or perfect mimicry. For them, the process, the experience, was what truly mattered. And slowly, Handa begins to see this too. But what about me, I wondered? Could I really let go of perfection? The idea seemed illogical at first, but watching Handa struggle and grow made me question everything I thought I knew. As I watched Barakamon, I found myself reflecting on my own life. Every time I failed or made a mistake, I had felt like I was losing ground. But what if this wasn't true? What if every mistake was actually a step forward? The more I let go of perfection, the more I realized something important. Real growth happens when we embrace our imperfections and keep trying. Not with the goal of attaining perfection, but with the understanding that it's through our flaws, mistakes, and efforts that we actually evolve. The aim isn't to be flawless, it's to be persistent, to learn, and to improve in ways that perfection simply doesn't allow. By the end of the series, I wasn't just rooting for Handa, it had felt like I'd grown alongside him. Barakamon had showed me that perfection was never the true goal. It was always the growth, the lessons, and the experiences gathered along the way that truly mattered. It was the journey itself, rather than the destination. The mistakes, the messy attempts, the failures weren't mere obstacles, they were integral parts of the process, helping me evolve and learn. And that's what makes Barakamon so powerful. It doesn't just tell you that perfection isn't the answer, it demonstrates it through humor and warmth, showing how embracing imperfections in the process of growth can lead to true fulfillment. Although flat earthers might debate this, chasing perfection is like sailing towards an ever-receding horizon. There will never be a destination unless you define one. If you're caught in the perfection trap, like I was, remember that growth comes from effort, not the flawless outcomes. Keep trying, keep learning, and most importantly, enjoy the process. That's the lesson that Barakamon has taught me, and it's one I'll carry for the rest of my life. I hope it has a similar effect on you. Thanks for watching. Later.